Gore. More like bore. It's Dynamite time. You know what? Right, let's just call a spade. This wrestling's dead. I actually don't even want to talk about it anymore. It clinically depresses me, but of course it doesn't exist in my eyes. Now, a guy that's been depressed the last couple of days and bedridden due to food poisoning slash something crazy is here. Last thing you want to talk about, first video back in the game and first thoughts back in the game.
I feel like I've been gored by Rhino, I really do.
Split in half through the Titantron, through the West Wing Megatron.
And peak Rhino, not this 58-year-old Rhino, whatever age.
He's not 58. I'm pretty sure Rhino's only 48 or something.
Well, I remember him being the youngest ECW champion, so he might be. Anyway, I feel like shit, but here to review Dynamite, because that's what we do in this channel. We push through and we're here to talk about wrestling, even though it all sucks. But
it does all suck. I mean, what is there to say? I thought the show, it's just, there's nothing that pushes the envelope, man. WWE is not doing good, and Tony Khan. There's people in the comment section of Wrestle Headlines, 10 out of 10 show for Tony Khan. No, seriously, what is he doing? Yo, see the MJF stuff, right, and the Bobby Lashley crew? I actually didn't mind it. Hell, I thought it produced one of the best segments of the year. It has been about 2 months of the same shit, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's Tony Storm in a 4-way eliminator match. The eliminator matches, right, have never drew a dime. Samoa Joe at 45 against 43-year-old Claudio Castagnoli does nothing for me.
Eliminator matches, they just make no sense. Why the fuck should you be in a match and you have to beat the champion to get a shot? Never has wrestling been that way. I get it. Sometimes the champion might have offered you and like made that rule, gave you a condition. Well, if you beat me, I'll give you a title shot. Like, that's been done in times in the past, but it was rare. It's like to earn a title shot, you don't beat the champion, you beat the other top contenders, and that's the way it is in UFC. That's the way it is in boxing. That's the way it's always been in wrestling. I just don't know why Tony Khan thinks these title eliminators are great. They're not.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine in UFC or boxing, here, to fight me for the world title, you have to fight me first? No, that's cheap. That's pish. I mean, people don't care. You're spoiling a match that people might actually look forward to.
Exactly.
It's like, could you imagine if they did Cody against Cena one-on-one before Mania? Because they called it an 11. It would be crap.
And because Tony Storm wins, there's no number one contender.
Yeah, and they said it's the 12th eliminator she's won in a row. And again, it's like a lose-lose situation, because if she wins, then it's like, well, the person doesn't get a match and you spoiled the match, and then if she loses, well, she's lost. Makes her look weak. But her winning 12 in a row, it's just weird. Anyway, Paige kicks off the show. I just want to go to bed at this point. He talks a load of shite. Basically puts over his and wee Swerve Strickland's feud. Enter Swerve. Yeah. But then Will Ospreay comes out. He's like, oh, here I am, bruv. Will Ospreay's not losing. Owen Hart this, Owen Hart. A lot of digs about the Owen Hart thing. He's like, oh, he'd be turning in his grave. He'd be ashamed of who's competing. Like, why are half these people, right, competing in the men and women's matches pretending that Owen Hart would love them but not the other person? He would fucking hate all 4 of them.
Yeah, I don't think Owen Hart would. I mean, Bret Hart's basically said nobody can wrestle these days.
Yeah. Obviously, Owen wasn't as better as Bret, but you know what?
I don't think Owen would look at this AEW roster and think, oh, these are guys that could mix it up and hang with me in the ring. I think Owen Hart probably a nicer guy than Bret, like, isn't he? So, but I mean, deep down, he's not going to. I don't think he's going to have that many different opinions for Bret.
The problem for me is, right, see if they wanted to do this once. See if they just wanted to do this once and pay respect to Owen. I can almost accept that. But see this every year now. Every year for about 4 years.
It's just to do something that WWE can't do.
Yeah, that's it. We've got the rights to Owen, etc., etc. And you know the score. But the Don Callis family came out, and this essentially sets up a match for later on tonight. So we then cut to the announcers table, and we've got Stokely and FTR showing up. FTR suck, man.
Wait, was Hangman Page versus the guy with the title and the Callis' family this night, or was that last week?
That was last week.
See, right, I watched that match, right, because it came on after we watched Dynamite, and I swear I've never seen a more perfect ending just for a TV match. He pushes the referee down, fucking kicks Page in the nuts, then hits a brainbuster, and he kicks out. on fucking TV.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
No, I mean, there's a match later
No,
on
but
the
no,
night.
I've
It's
no,
ridiculous.
I've see with AEW. It's, I mean, I think AEW are much more criminal at doing this than WWE. It's like there's so many opportunities. I feel like that could end the match, and then the thing that does end the match, more often or not, it's like lackluster. Did you see that Brainbuster
No,
spot?
I know what
I
you're
mean,
on
what
about.
fucking more do you want? Well, why is that? No,
There was a point in the main event where the crowd were really hot, and there was a pin, and then it was broken up, and then like the next 2 minutes, it just felt flat. And obviously, like you can't judge how the crowd's going to be, right, and script a match, but you know when a match is outstayed its welcome, and it's a TV match, but we'll get to that later on. But yeah, FTR and Stokely release all three of them. What are these two doing teaming up with these guys, man? Who cares? Who honestly get in the face of Tony Schiavone? What is that? Is that what FTR's resulted to? A wee feud with Tony Schiavone? Who cares? You don't. I don't. No one does. The ratings reflect that. But Will Ospreay says that they're all the best wrestlers in the business. But as I said earlier, right, and I want to get your opinion on this. If AEW's got all the best wrestlers and their ratings are fucking shite, does that not mean that wrestling doesn't mean hee-haw?
Aye, but that logic, I think that's fair to say. If AEW, if every wrestler in AEW is better than every wrestler in WWE, and the ratings are shite, then that would suggest to me that
And as I said,
ring work and wrestling ability doesn't mean shit when it comes to drawing. But listen, that's not something none of us didn't already know.
no, you're right. But as I said earlier, right, and I just want to reiterate this. You've got guys like JR, Christian, Edge, Shivani, Taz, etc., the old heads, Jeff Jarrett, Billy Gunn, right? They know that. But what the problem is, this is like, TNA around its dying days in WCW. You've just got a bunch of guys that are well paid and don't give a shit because they're like, you know what? I could ruffle Tony's feathers and tell him this is shite and the ratings are bad, but we'll all kiss their arse. It was the same in WCW and TNA.
Take the money while the company's around.
Yeah, no, they're not. I'm not saying Kevin Nash, right? Kissed the arse of, Ted Turner, but they happily just took the paycheck and kind of drove the company into the ground. You've got enough experienced heads here. I get it. Shivani, JR, guys in their 70s, man, right? Sting's probably the same, and those other guys are getting on it. Is it really worth them fighting a billionaire in order to book some better wrestling? Probably not. They're there to get an extra bit of retirement money. You know the score. But the reality is, man, they need characters and you need stories. This best wrestling pish, no one cares. No one cares about wrestling.
And it's just factually untrue. I mean, both companies have some good wrestlers, both companies have some average, and both companies have some terrible. For Ospreay to say that AEW's got what did he exactly say?
He said AEW. He said himself, on my worst day, I'm better than everybody in the other company. Then he turned around and said, hell, everybody in AEW is better than everybody they've got.
So that would suggest that, well, I wouldn't suggest, that's him saying that the worst person in AEW is better than the best person in WWE. That's just not fucking right.
Yeah, no, it's not. Then he was talking about how, well, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky and Bianca, they're all great. Then he talked about promo-wise. He's like, yeah, I'm not the best on the mic. WWE's got Roman Reigns and Punk, etc. And Roman Reigns, another overrated bastard.
It's a myth that he's somehow great. Like, it really is.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, Fatal 4-Way Women's Eliminator. Toni Storm wins. It was a decent match. I think a lot of these women who you'd probably consider shite in ring a couple of years ago, I think they were beginning to learn a thing or two. But, I mean, Toni Storm wins. I just don't really see the purpose here.
With interference with Megan Bain and then Harley Cameron can do it. I was beginning to forget who was in the match.
A lot of blondes.
Tony Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm were basically acting like a tag team the entire match.
Yeah, no, they were. Toni Storm wins, though.
For a while, I thought it was a tag team match, not going to lie.
Yeah, chicken wing, Bob Backlund style. Some decent spots where Toni Storm's like, letting people do the finishers to each other, almost in a way like, well, I don't really mind if they win, I'll take them on as a world champion. But it was alright. It was an old bad match. But CRU hit the ringside, Hurts to come down to the ring. They're like, where is the best tag teams? We need them. Out come two guys that are apparently top flight. I didn't know it. Just so crap.
Well, yeah. I'm guessing they're top flight. I don't know if
they are top flight, it says here.
I think I called them Hit Row, actually.
Ah, you did. But they're like, is that not the team in WWE? Well, it was the team 4 years ago.
Maybe.
Sir Strickland was in that, was he not?
Possibly.
Anyway, They say, yeah, we've been hurt before, but we come back every single time. This team won't die, so try your best. We're underdogs. You want to see a miracle? This was crap, man. This was absolute tragic. Two guys sent into the lines, then not knowing how to speak. Not knowing how to speak, man, just not knowing how to cut a promo. MJF batters him, throws him into the ring. Bloody, bang, bang. He then says to Bobby, is that enough? I like to hurt people. And then Bobby's like, I'll tell you next week what my answer is. Again, just dragging this out. Dragging it out, man. I just don't get this. Ricochet and the Elite cut a promo. They make fun of Ricochet's bald dome. Yeah, Nick Wayne apparently will defend this title against someone from Christian Cage's past. Not Chris Benoit. It's Rhino. Rhino's first appearance in AEW. This guy has literally been in every single company I think that's ever existed. I like Rhino. Invasion run, TNA run, ECW run. Doesn't really matter what run it is. I think Rhino's always a fun character to have. But Nick, look at Rhino and look at Nick Wayne side by side, right? Now, see, recently I think we've kind of flipped, saying, you know what, the old guys are not going to appear. Fuck them. People, you need to push young people. But look at Nick Wayne, man.
Nick Wayne's going fucking nowhere.
Honestly, like, see Nick Wayne. Yeah, he could go to the gym, but he's almost got one of those builds where it's like, no matter what he does, he's going to look. See Darby Allin being a skinny bastard. I think it works if he's the only guy that is, and he does all these mad stunts. But you've got about 1,000 people in wrestling today like him.
I feel like Darby Allin's unique though with his moveset and his
skateboard.
He does have a unique look and style and daredevil attitude, and that kind of sets him apart from the rest. But
I know it's disgusting about this, right? It's not like Nick Wayne wins via count out or a roll up. He hits him with a move and pins him.
The Impaler, I believe, or the Imprettier.
The kill switch. Crap. I mean, Rhino. Christian and Rhino selling themselves with Nick fucking Wayne and Kip Sabian. It's a disgrace.
Well, there looks to be some beef between Christian and Nick Wayne. I think Christian wants that belt.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Nick Wayne's got his fucking mum at ringside. I mean, where's that going?
No, where is it going?
Could you imagine if Austin's mum stood at ringside? He's taking on McMahon and shit. Just
what? Right.
I know, but like, tell your mum at ringside if it's like. What the fuck?
Right. Up next, we've got Mike Bailey, Mark Briscoe, Swerve taking on the Young Bucks and Ricochet. Now, according to Wrestle Headlines, if you ever watched PWG, this was one of their famous trio matches. A lot of holy shit moments, and it kept everyone glued to the TV. What the fuck's PWG?
Pro Wrestling Guerrilla.
Is that what it is?
Aye.
Pro Wrestling Gay Boys, more like. Because see this match, right? No selling, flippy dippy, sucky wacky, flippy dippy, gymnastic, lack of psychology, shite. Honestly, man, half the spots are botches. It's too quick. Like, it's literally too quick. It needs slowed down. It's just crap, man. They don't end the match at the correct point. They're doing drop kicks that aren't connected.
One thing that really pissed me off in this match was Swerve Strickland did a double suplex.
What about the fact they no-sold the Canadian Destroyer?
Yeah, well, that pissed me off as well.
Don't piss me off.
It's like, someone like Swerve Strickland shouldn't be doing a double suplex to two guys that are like basically the same height and same weight and same size as him. That's reserved for big guys, like a Big Show or a Kane, when they do a double fucking suplex, and then seeing you see a double suplex looks more impressive. You're like, holy fuck, that guy just suplexed two men. I was going to say fully grown men, but AEW don't really have any of them. But it's like,
although the job them out to Nick Wayne, apparently.
It just looks fucking weak. It just devalues this move. That you've got Swerve Strickland doing a double suplex to two guys like the same size as him, and the commentary is not putting it over. Any other time in wrestling, someone done a double suplex and it was like considered this amazing feat of strength.
Yeah.
But Swerve Strickland just does it as a wee transitional move and moves on.
But look at the state of the match, right? They've got all these high spots, right? Big finishing moves.
Could have done a double
and it ends with a roll up.
Yeah, there was one spot where like about a 30-second period where all six guys were like hitting signature finisher moves, and Swerve gets the Canadian Destroyer done on him by either one of the Jackson brothers, which I feel really bad for Petey Williams. Guy fucking created this move. I'd never seen it before in wrestling. Now, some arsehole's going to turn around and tell me it was done in Japan.
In 1993 or something.
But at the end of the day, we'd never seen it in North America until Petey Williams started doing it in TNA. And I believe similar to the 3D, no one kicked out of the Canadian Destroyer. Or at least no one kicked out of it for the longest amount of time. And now it's like, honestly, I think that, I think if you took the maybe not WWE as much because they don't, although they do it as well. I think if you took the AEW roster and you look at everybody, I think that 75% plus of the AEW roster's done at least one Canadian Destroyer.
Or probably kicked out it.
I think 3/4 of the AEW roster has used the Canadian Destroyer as a fucking normal move.
Yeah. No, there we go.
Wait,
yeah.
remember, remember Pentagon did it?
Aye. No, I know. A lot of them do it.
No, but remember he did it and then someone did it back on him and he did it on him? What match was that? It was 3 Canadian Destroyers in like 10 seconds.
Aye.
No sell. Was that in WWE or AEW?
That was AEW.
But there was no
That's
selling.
a couple of years ago.
There was fucking no selling. It was 3 Canadian Destroyers done back to back.
I'm pretty sure it was him and Briscoe.
That's fucking
Actually, could Mark Briscoe do them back to back? Anyway, you're right.
No,
But it's the super kicks as well. And you know what? That's a wrestler. The Usos, the Young Bucks, Shawn
Tell you
Michaels.
what, do you notice how protected the super kick was when Shawn Michaels was active?
I know.
Stevie Richards had to change his fucking move.
Yep. I tell you what's the only move that's not been butchered? No one's really did a tombstone.
True. I mean, even the pedigree, Seth Rollins does that as a signature move that never wins a match.
But the Canadian Destroyer's been destroyed that much. No, I'm not even exaggerating, right? I know you may be an exaggeration, but see if people start doing tombstone pile drivers and getting out of it, like not even selling it and getting and doing one of their own. That's Taker needs to step up.
I think it makes Taker's legacy.
No, it does. It does make it look weak, but this was shite. Well, speaking of looking weak, right? Will Ospreay backstage promo with MJF. MJF looks the part. Will Ospreay's a fucking loser. He's damn right that he can't cut a promo.
Yeah, MJF just,
Little British baby.
It's a simple look for MJF, just, stonewashed jeans, wife beater, white shirt, and a wee tiny bit of blood on it, but it's just a good look.
But MJF ends, he's like, no one is on the level of the devil. And then Will Ospreay gets in his face, he grabs him back. My level is up here. And he moved his fucking hand with each word.
I just think MJF, if he was half a foot taller.
Half a foot?
Hmm.
Aye. What would that make him? About 6'1"?
5'7". He needs to be he's just a bit small, isn't he?
Yep. But he can still work.
He's better. I prefer him over Roman Reigns every day of the fucking week. Like.
No, but is he much smaller than like a Punk?
Not really.
The problem is, I think when CM Punk, right, and Rollins work with like someone like The Rock, it's not noticeable. But if they work with if MJF worked against The Rock,
I'd see quite a size.
Yeah, it's like, it has been Jericho, Michaels. They're not big guys, but like compare them to Christian. Christian's like similar height, but just no build. MJF's not the worst build, but he's lacking height. What can I say?
Like I think height screwed Taz over.
Yep.
Not so much in ECW because Heyman didn't really care about that, but I just feel like in WWE, Taz was never going to get a great push because
no, especially that stack of dimes you call a neck. What?
Like, see if you're Taz's height, you need to be like a cruiserweight. You need to be a high flyer.
Yep, right.
You need to have an offense that suit. It just doesn't, man. See Taz being like 5'4", whatever height he was. It just doesn't suit his offense being the multiple suplexes.
No.
Because it does look a bit weird him suplexing Big Show or Kane or.
No, see if Taz right was like 6'3".
I think he could have been a world champ in WWE.
Fucking no. See Taz against Kurt
MJ3,
Angle
of course.
against Brock Lesnar with like suplex against could have been some of the greatest shit you've ever seen in your puff, but he was 5'4", brother. Right, Okada versus Kevin Knight, Rainmaker, worst finishing move in the history of the business. I'll say it right here. He wins in about 10 seconds. Who cares?
It's mental the amount of people that think that's better than the clothesline for hell.
Yeah, I know it's crap. Right, main event. Joe defeats Claudio, and then out come Powerhouse Hobbs. They batter They batter Claudio, some weak ass looking spots. He does this move on the chair. Claudio doesn't hit the chair. They're then like, oh, they're holding him hostage. He's no getting in the ring. The Death Riders need to go. This is redundant. Honestly, like, I'll accept, right? Does Moxley do alright in the clips? Yes. But it's tiresome to watch, man. Who cares? Honestly. There's so many other people that could be challenging for the belt. But I don't think, I say that, I don't think AEW is blessed in a way like with WWE. I do think like you've got guys like Braun Breaker, right? That you could just fucking strap a rocket to. Who in AEW that they haven't really gave the belt to? MJF's already had it. Not saying he can't have it again. I would still give it to him.
I'd give it to Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley.
He came in, I'd have him destroy Moxley.
Yeah, yo, he's dominated the tag division for months. What's the end game?
Yeah, I'd have personally...
Why can't he hold the tag titles while world champion?
Yeah, I'd have personally done that, but it is what it is. Yeah, fun fact, by the way, do you know that Chris Masters is younger than Damian Priest?
Fuck, there you go. That just sums it up, though.
I think Masters, when he did debut, it was like 20-something, 21, 22. Damian Priest, when he debuted, it was fucking close to 40. And that was when he debuted in NXT, so...
Oh, guys, what is there to say? Right, rating time. I will give it a 2 out of 10. It's just boring, man. Nothing happening on it.
Before we actually give a rating here...
I've gave mine.
I know, well, even when I was watching Raw there, see just seen at the end, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso and Punk at ringside. You've got guys that are in their 40s. I believe they're all in their 40s, aren't they? Apart from maybe Jey. Is he 39?
Aye, he's near 40 though.
Sami Zayn's...
Kevin Owens turned 41 yesterday.
I think Sami Zayn's 41. It's like, just guys in their 40s that just do not look like stars. They fucking don't.
No.
They don't. And you know what? I think...
See, back in the day, they would have just been resigned to tag team wrestling. If that...
I think CM Punk looks less like a star working with these guys.
Yeah.
See back in the day when he was fucking feuding with Cena, or he had or his main event with Taker or whatever.
Or the Rock.
You know, he just look naturally. He will just look more. Don't get me wrong. He's a lot bigger than Uso and Zayn in terms of size. Because he actually goes to the gym. I don't think Sami Zayn's ever stepped in a gym in his life. But
no.
Anyway, point is, fucking wrestling's... We need young blood in wrestling. There's too many fucking old guys.
Yeah, no,
and that's not a dig at Rhino, because I like Rhino, but I mean...
No, but it's fucking incredible, right?
There's too many old guys that have never been good.
It's incredible how fucking marks like JD from New York will bash Jeff Jarrett, you know, wanting to compete in a tournament for his dead best friend, right? But then praise 45-year-old Samoa Joe against 43-year-old Claudio.
Yeah, but I give Jeff Jarrett a pass because he's actually done something in wrestling.
Yeah, but no, but what like, we set every fid now, but it's like, see the guys, right, who were underutilized 10 years ago. They're now in their 40s in the main event scene, stinking out the joint, and no one cared about them back in the day. No one cares about them now.
People will say, "Oh, Jeff Jarrett wasn't a star, or he wasn't at the top of the companies, or whatever." But that was hard to do back in the fucking Attitude Era.
But no, the problem is, right? See, for someone like Joe, see if Samoa Joe, right? See if Samoa Joe left TNA after the Angle feud and went to WWE, he'd have been a bona fide main eventer, right? But that's 20 years ago. You know, that's like 19, 18, 20 years ago. See in the past in wrestling, right? See if your prime moment, say for example, right, your prime moment was 1985. What the fuck are you doing in 2004? Unless you're Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair. I'll tell you, hee-haw. That's the way it was. Samoa Joe ain't either of them. So why 20 years later is this guy in fucking Big Cloudy in the main event of AEW?
It's like Sting, right? Sting wrestled into his 60s. He wanted to see Sting, special attraction, fucking star. Do everything you could keep him. Could draw in the ratings. And you're not looking at Sting and you're not going, oh, he's an old guy, he needs to make way. He needs to leave. We need younger talent. I don't look at Sting, I don't think that. But that doesn't mean like a Sami Zayn, for example, should wrestle till he's 65.
No.
Sting's actually fucking somebody in the wrestling business.
He was called El Generico. That tells you all you need to know.
Anyway, you give it a 2, and I'll give it a 2 as well. Just
it's boring. It's bad. Not anything overly bad. But where is the... It's almost like Tony Khan's just accept it. Like, yeah, we're fucked. I'm not even going to push the envelope. Like, where's the controversial stuff? Nothing. Nowhere to be seen. Just accepting shite. Mediocrity, man. Anyway, leave your thoughts down below. Till then, peace.